We all have a story that involves a night, a concert, or even a festival here in 5 Points. Some we want to remember, and some we want to forget, right? Hey guys, Soda City Realtor here, and I just want to give you a quick rundown on the history of the village, what we now call 5 Points. So before this area was developed, right where I'm standing was all swampland, a wooded area with a creek running through it, basically no man's land. Around 1890-ish was the beginning of the development of Shandon. They continued to work on Shandon along with Wells Garden over the next 20 to 25 years. The wooded swamp area separated these neighborhoods from Gervais Street and downtown Columbia. Fast forward to 1915. City officials decided this no man's land would service the residents better as something other than vacant, swampy woods. After redirecting all the water underground and clearing out this huge parcel of land, the city then extended Hardin Street through the village all the way up to Shandon. 5 Points then became one of the main routes for citizens traveling to and from Main Street back to the suburbs. Yes, Shandon was considered a suburb back then. Fun fact, Shandon was one of the first planned suburbs here in Columbia. Okay, so it's 1919. The village, AKA 5 Points, now has roads, storm drains, and infrastructure. So what's next? You got it, businesses and retail shops. Anyone know what was the very first business that opened? It was a Gulf filling station right here on the corner of Hardin and Divine. Many of you know this spot to be home to Harper's, but we now welcome the famous Home Team Barbecue in this historic location. It didn't take long for other businesses to join in. Within 2 years, the commercial growth along Hardin Street really took off. This was Columbia's first suburban shopping center. So the 1930s brought in Riley's department store, which is now Jake's. Some of us remember it as Rockefeller's. So this building that we all knew for many years as yesterday's restaurant actually started in the mid-1930s as a drugstore, which turned into a Rose's dime store. In 1939, 5 Points Theater opened, and it was a huge success for many years. You can find the original marquee here on the 600 block of Hardin Street. Fun fact, upstairs, accessed by the alley next to the theater, was a bar called Stage Door. I read where these guys claimed to be the first bar in South Carolina to sell a mixed drink using mini bottles. Prior to the 70s, customers would bring their own bottle in and pay a setup fee. With all these amenities coming to one spot, 5 Points was becoming one of Columbia's fastest growing commercial districts. Over the next 10 to 15 years, retailers continued to move in. Columbia's first modern-day grocery store was the A&P. It opened right here where Men's Warehouse now stands. Not far behind was the Winn-Dixie and Colonial grocery stores. Even Sears joined the fun and opened a store here in this shopping center in the 50s. So another fun fact, 5 Points was home to Columbia's first Chinese restaurant, Kester's Bamboo House. 5 Points had become a place of convenience, a gathering spot, a meeting place for families and business professionals. If you were traveling through town or you were a Columbia resident that needed something, you came here or Main Street. So fast forward to the 70s. People were moving out of the city into other suburb areas, and this district began to see a huge increase in students, not only living near and around the village, but also it changed the type of customers that these retailers originally had. This brought in more eclectic businesses designed to cater towards college students and locals, which has brought us to what we now know as 5 Points.